Welcome to episode 2 of Down the I-10 with Leah and Petey. I'm Leah Merrill, joined by Steve Peters. Down the I-10, we are going to be focusing on the Coyotes AHL affiliate, the Tucson Roadrunners, because there's a lot of hockey going on here in Arizona, and we want to make sure everyone gets attention. So let's get this road trip started. We're on our way to Tucson to talk to some very special guests. But before we do, we'll talk about the Roadrunners season so far. Currently 5th place in the Pacific Division. Their record is 7-6-1, but they just had a big weekend this past weekend.
You know, the last time we took the trip down south to Tucson, the Roadrunners were near the bottom of the Pacific Division standings. They had games in hand, and after a big weekend against Abbotsford, which is Vancouver's farm team, 2 big wins. They've jumped a few spots in the Pacific Division standings. Now they're sitting 5th. They've got a huge weekend coming up with Colorado. Tough team to play on the road, but a great weekend, and a great weekend for our guests that we got coming up. Are we teasing the guests? Do we tell the guests?
Let's tell the guests. So we have Matias Maccelli and Janis Moser of the Roadrunners joining us. Maccelli currently leads the team in goals and points. He has 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points to lead the team. Moser has 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. So great offensive production from the two of them.
Yeah, Matias Maccelli leads the team in scoring, and Janis Moser leads all defensemen on the Roadrunners in scoring. So this is where the offense is coming from. And you know what? When you're playing with different teammates every night, because you got the guys standing next to you getting called up, the team's in flux all the time. It's hard to get that consistency. So it's great to see these guys playing so well in their first year of pro North American hockey. I'll preface it because they both played pro last year in Europe. They're playing great. This is part of what the future looks like for the Arizona Coyotes. And this is why we take the trip down the I-10. We're in a rebuild. You know, we talk about the tank season and the rebuild and where they're going. These are guys that are going to come out the other end of the tunnel and be a part of this team when they start winning. They had an unbelievable weekend against Abbotsford. Matias Maccelli ended up with 2 goals, 4 assists. JJ had 1 goal and 3 assists, but his goal was in a comeback win on Saturday night with under a minute to go.
Wow.
Huge goal. Yeah. Ends up being the game winner. So we're really excited about what's going on down south, and Jay Verde and his coaching staff are doing a great job in developing these players and getting them ready to play for the Arizona Coyotes.
All right. Well, I say we should welcome in our guests. What do you say?
Let's get it going.
We made it to Tucson. Let's welcome
bring
in our guests. We are joined by Tucson Roadrunners, Janis Moser and Matias Maccelli. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much both for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, I'm going to start right away with last weekend. You guys played Abbotsford last weekend, and both of you had outstanding weekends. We talked about Matias, you ended up the weekend with 2 goals and 4 assists. JJ, 1 goal, 3 assists, but his 1 goal, unbelievable comeback victory, scores with under a minute to go. Matias, can you tell us about your weekend, how you prepared for it, what the weekend was like for you?
Yeah, obviously it was a good weekend for the team. Good 2 wins, and just happy to get 4 points. They're huge right now. So yeah, it was really good.
Both of you had played in Switzerland and Finland previously to playing in the American Hockey League. Can you tell us a little bit about what the differences have been like between those playing in Europe versus playing in North America and how that adjustment has been?
Yeah, for me, it probably took around 8 games to get used to it again. The ice is a lot smaller here, and game is a lot faster. So it's just little adjustments you have to make to be able to play here.
Yeah, and JJ, as a defenseman. Oh, sorry, JJ, because I was going to say, for you as a defenseman, you're playing on that big sheet of ice in Europe, and you've got to play on a smaller sheet in North America. Does that make it more difficult for you?
I wouldn't say difficult, but it's just really different. I think you just have to adapt your playing style a little bit. You have to focus on different things. You have to focus more on knowing what's going on before you have the puck. And in Europe, you can have the puck and then make 2 or 3 steps, and then you have still enough time to make a play then. But here you actually have to know what's going on before you have the puck, and you have to just create more space. That's the biggest difference.
Well, we can look at the stats line here, and Matias, you're leading the whole team in goals and points. JJ, you're leading all defensemen with the Roadrunners in points. Great offensive season for both of you. My question is, and we'll start with JJ, is it more difficult for you because you've got guys in and out of the lineup, guys getting called up, you're playing with someone different every night? Does that make it more difficult?
I'd say yes, but it's not like a big deal. I think, yeah, you know how it's going, that it changes every now and then. So yeah, you get to adjust quick, but I think it's maybe a little bit easier when you know that the players around you a little bit longer, but it doesn't make that big of a difference.
Same with you, Matias. Same thing. You're different line mates. You're changing guys. I mean, you played a little bit with, didn't you play with Barrett for even a little bit? Like, you're changing line mates often. Does that change your approach to the game?
Yeah, I played with Hayes for a little bit when he was down here, but that was actually really good because he was in Finland with me last season, so we played there together too. So we had a little chemistry going on, but I think it matters, like JJ said, a little bit. But at the end of the day, we have a locker room full of good players, so it really doesn't matter who you put there with me.
Did the two of you keep an eye on what's going on with the Coyotes, or is your primary focus what's happening in Tucson?
I think you look now and then, but I think the main focus, at least for me, is on what I can control and what I can do down here.
Yeah, same thing for me.
I talked to your coach, Jay Verde, yesterday, and he said you spend a lot of time in your practices with development. You've got a skating coach, a skills coach. Can you see your game getting better here in Tucson with that special attention?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that also has to be the goal, or has to be like that. I think it's really important that we, still keep on developing our game and getting better.
Awesome.
Is there a player for both of you? Let's start with Matias on this. So you guys keep an eye through your life. You've watched the NHL. Is there a player that's playing in the NHL or has played in the NHL that you try to model your game after, or you emulate, or you idolize, or you're trying to follow? Is there somebody you can say, hey, I want to play like this guy?
Yeah, obviously, I really have a one player that I follow. I just like to watch McDavid and Draisaitl line up. They're hot and they're scoring a lot, so I just like to watch their games and how they play, and then maybe learn something.
For Coyotes fans, that's a good thing, Matias. If you want to emulate those guys, that's fantastic. That's a great start. JJ, how about you?
Yeah, as a Swiss defenseman, I think it's not bad when you try to integrate some things of Roman Josi into your game. But I think
good one.
He's just the guy that I'm looking the most. But I try to integrate from every player some good aspects, so from different players, and then find my own identity and find my own game.
Okay, we're going to switch it to Tucson a little bit, because I know last winter where you guys lived was much different than living in Tucson. So has there been an adjustment in playing in the sunshine and warm weather versus what you both came from last year? Matias?
Yeah, I personally, I love it down here. Like you said, it's a little cold back home in Finland, so the weather is it's huge for me. It's every day it feels like holiday when you get off the rink. So it works for me.
Yeah, for Definitely. Me too. I think it's pretty nice to have the warm weather, that you don't have to care about the rain protection or whatever. And for me, it just changed a little bit the hydration part. I think it's a little bit more important to drink a lot and to just do different things to stay hydrated.
So true. You don't think about that part of it. Besides the weather, which is obviously a given, what is your favorite part so far in the few months you've been here about living in Tucson? What are some places that each of you like to go eat on off days or things like that? We'd love to know your favorite things to do or favorite places to eat. And we can start with JJ, because Matias went first last time.
Yeah, so for me, I think it's really cool because I was a couple of times in Mexico, and it's quite similar here. When I first came here, I thought, I might playing hockey in Mexico now, so that was kind of cool. And I was one night I was eating at the Coronet, right besides the rink, and I enjoyed the atmosphere there. And it was really a lot of music, and all of a sudden people started to dance, and that was quite funny.
Yeah, for me, I actually just got my car this week, so I haven't been out of the house a lot other than the rink. But I've been in a restaurant named North Italia a couple times, so I think that's
good.
Gonna be my spot.
That's a good one.
So do you guys do you have roommates? Do you share a house with guys, or are you on your own in your apartments, JJ?
Yeah, I have a 1-bedroom apartment on my own, so it's pretty close to the rink, but I really enjoy a little walk to the convention center every day. It's quite nice.
Yeah, for me, I live 15 minutes probably away from the rink. With my girlfriend, so it's been really good. She's a huge help for me.
And so is she? Did you bring her from home, and she's enjoying the weather too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice place to have some time off, especially when you're on the road. Okay, we talked about the Coyotes a lot, the Arizona Coyotes, and their relaxed casual dress code when they travel to the rink. One, do you guys have the casual dress code as the same as they do? And two, between the two of you, who is the better dresser? JJ.
Yeah, I think we have quite a relaxed dress code, and the better dresser.
Yeah, who's got more style? That's even?
Diplomatic. Oh. It can be diplomatic, so I'd say even.
Oh, no leopard print or wild bright green, like Matias.
Yeah, it's a little different here than back home. Back home we have really relaxed, but it's nice here that we don't have to wear a tie every game too. So I like it that way. And then I'm gonna say even too, so I don't hurt his feelings.
You guys are too nice. That's the kind of way this Tucson group's come together, though. I talked to the coach again. He said you're all getting along. You're all working for the same goal, no matter who's in and out of the lineup. I tell you what, your coach had really nice things to say about the both of you. Let's talk about Colorado a little bit. You're leaving for the road here. Colorado's a tough team to play. Do you know anything about them? Is there anything that your coach has told you to expect, or is it a little too early to start building your game plan? Matias.
Yeah, we've been talking about how they play a little bit, so that's been good, and we've been practicing the last couple of days. Some things we need to improve on the ice, and then other than that, I don't really know what to expect. So I'm gonna go there open-minded and play some hockey.
Just get your points, right? Just you two, just keep putting the puck in the net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's pretty much the same. I don't know really anything about any team of this league, but just from what the coaches told us, that they're pretty in a good system. They're pretty hardworking and boxing out good. So we have to get the pucks to the net and then battle it in from there.
Well, best of luck this weekend in Colorado. It's been great to see the Roadrunners have success this season, and you two as individuals have success. And we'll keep tabs on the Roadrunners as always. But thanks again for joining us on our episode of Down to the I-10.
Yeah, we'll have you guys back on again. Thanks for coming on. I know you guys got places to be and things to do. So thanks for your time, and we're going to check in with you guys in a couple weeks.
Yeah, thanks for having
us. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. All right, that was great stuff from Maccelli and Moser. Thank you so much to the two of them for taking the time with us. Big part of the Coyotes' future, so really great to get to talk to them.
It's exciting, and it's exciting for Coyotes fans to get to know people that are on their way up. And, you know, whether they get called up this year or if it's next year or when the rebuild gets done, it's good to know the guys are going to be a part of it. So let's make these guys, you know, we're fortunate at PHNX that we can make these guys household names before they get here. And we've said it before, if you get a chance to make a road trip, just like Leah and I make the trip down to the I-10 once every 2 weeks, check the schedule. I mean, they've got Colorado on the road this week, and then they do come home. They got a home series after that. Check the calendar, check the schedule, get down to Tucson. Great place to watch a building. Stop. We've given you restaurant ideas on every show. Make a pregame meal out of it and go watch some of these kids play, because it's fun to watch. And I'm so glad we're doing this segment.
Yeah, me too. Well, thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Down the I-10. We'll be back in 2 weeks for another trip to Tucson. Thanks so much.